Hi Sagittarius, Happy New Year. Welcome to January and your TarotScope, your love TarotScope for January. This is Teresa from tarotbyt.com. And I want to call in some good energy first for the new year and for January and for this reading. And before I start, I want to say thank you for those of you who have subscribed to the channel, and thank you for liking, sharing, and also taking time out to comment. I really appreciate that. I read all your comments. And thank you for those who have purchased readings. I value your support and your business, and I enjoy working with everyone. I'm so happy to be able to do this. So let's see what's coming up for January for Sag. We have a full moon in Cancer on the 1st, and then a new moon in Capricorn on the 16th, and then a second blue moon, which is also an eclipse, a full moon, that's an eclipse, on the 31st, and that will be in Leo. So we will see how that's going to relate later on. I'll get into the astrology, but for now, let's see what the cards are saying for January. What does Sagittarius need to know about love and relationships for the month of January? What does Sagittarius need to know about love and relationships for the month of January? The Two of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Judgment, the King of Cups, the Hangman, the Hierophant, the Six of Swords, the Emperor, the Ten of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so you start off the month with the Two of Swords crossed by the Five of Swords. You know, I've been getting a lot of this energy, and I think it's because of all these Capricorn these planets are in Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn. It's been a very not a warm and fuzzy month, like around the holidays, because all this Capricorn energy can have a tendency to restrict the expression of love and tenderness. And so people just seem to be cold and critical around this time. So you may have had a falling out with someone, and you may have felt victimized. You may be feeling victimized with the Five of Swords. And with the Two of Swords, you're on the fence. The Two of Swords is someone who's trying to make a decision. You're trying to decide which path to take in a relationship. And right now there's like a stalemate in the situation. You're not making any choice. You're just sitting there on the fence because you can't really see the future. You're not sure what the future will bring if you move away from this relationship. But you, at the same time, you've been experiencing someone's hostility, or there are there's some issues with a person that you're involved with where you can't fight them without also getting hurt. They're either trying to draw you into some kind of drama, or they're trying to push your buttons, and you just don't want to react. You don't want to get drawn in, but you kind of have to accept the reality of this situation with the Five of Swords. And that's a lot of what the Capricorn energy is bringing us now, seeing the reality of our situations, accepting reality. No more, starry-eyed idealism. We have to see what's real, and we have to take action based on what's real. Not what we want to be, but what is. So with the Five of Swords, you might be in a relationship that has some problems that are not going to be easily fixed. Like, you have to accept that this person has limitations, whatever they are. And you have to either learn to live with the limitations of a situation or cut your losses and move on, because it's not going to change. And you can struggle and fight with this person all you want. You're not going to change their basic nature or the way they respond in situations. So you have to decide for yourself, can I live with this? Can I live with this type of behavior? Can I live with this person? And if you find that you can, then you can make things work within the confines of that, or the limitations of the relationship. And if you find that, no, this is unacceptable, this is a deal breaker, I just can't take anymore, you might be thinking about moving on. So now you have the Judgment card in the past. The Judgment is actually, you've been doing some soul searching. And you may have come to some type of an awakening where you realize what you need to change in your life. And you realize that we can't control what other people do. That we can't control the behavior of others. The only thing we can control is how we react to situations. The only thing we can control is what we choose to do. So with the Judgment card, you are choosing to make changes within yourself. You've been working on yourself. And in doing that, you're becoming stronger. The Judgment sometimes comes up when you have to forgive someone. So if you've suffered some type of injury in a relationship, you may have to forgive them. That doesn't mean you have to say it's okay what they did. And you don't have to continue taking abuse if you're in an abusive situation. But you have to forgive, let it go. Not hold on to it, thinking that either you can change it or fix it, or hold a grudge or get involved in some kind of revenge thing. You just have to let it go. Say, okay, this is what it is, see it for what it is, and release. And work on yourself, which you have been doing. The Judgment card also comes up when you need to get out of a rut, when you've been in a rut in a situation. So it could be a relationship that's just been stagnant. It could even be a career situation or some life situation where you're just feeling that nothing's moving, I'm not growing. And you want to move on, you want to be growing and changing and learning, and that's what keeps people alive, that's what makes life interesting. But if you're stuck in a situation that hasn't really changed or hasn't improved, it's maybe time to start making changes that are going to bring better things into your life. So you have this King of Cups here. This is a card that could relate to someone who is, it could be a water sign. Could be Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Someone who has a lot of deep emotions, deep feelings. But he keeps them hidden. He's not someone that's easy to read or someone that's easy to get to know, because he has he's very sensitive and he's very deep feeling. But at times, if he feels rejected, he can be a little vindictive. So that could be part of what you're going through. You're dealing with someone's vindictiveness, or they might have felt slighted by you because you're changing. And because you're changing, you might be setting boundaries. And you might, your needs are changing. So you may feel like, I don't want to give this person that much of my time anymore. And so, because this is like an influence that's passing. It has influenced your love life, but it's kind of like on its way out. I feel like you're moving away from this person. And this could be male or female, by the way, depending on what your partner is. Cards can be either sex, but the basic nature of this person is someone who's very compassionate, very caring, but also very sensitive, very emotional. And then sometimes they can be angry, they can get vindictive when they feel hurt or when they feel rejected. And so you might be on the receiving end of someone's hostility. And you might be at a point where you're tired of it and you're ready to move on from it. Another scenario is that you could be talking to someone, because this card also can represent a counselor, someone that you go to for advice, someone who is, knows how to calm things down. So you might have someone, a friend that you can talk to that when you can't think or you can't figure things out, they bring logic and reason into the situation. They help you sort things out. Because with the Two of Swords here, you are kind of in this state of indecision. What path should I take? Do I stay or do I go? Do I choose this? Do I choose that? Do I try to contact this person? Do I leave it alone? Because with the Two of Swords, you're almost waiting for the other person to contact you. Like neither person wants to make the first move. You're waiting for them, they're waiting for you. But at some point, someone's going to have to break the ice, and it may be you. It may have to be you. Or you may just decide, you know what, it's not worth it, I'm just moving on. Because you have this Hangman here coming up. The Hangman is a card of feeling that you're in limbo, Things are not moving. And that's also because we just came through this Mercury retrograde period where everything's kind of slowed down. So it's a time of resting and reevaluating your life and not really taking action. The time to take action is now in January, because a lot of planets are going direct. Uranus is going to be direct on the 2nd, and so that could make it, kind of could bring a sense of, if you want to be freed from something, Uranus going direct can give you the courage and the energy to free yourself, to suddenly release from an oppressive situation. And the Hangman definitely talks about giving something up, making a sacrifice, giving something up for something better, moving on to something better. And the something better, because you want more stability in your life. You have the Hierophant here. And Sagittarius, this is a card of the teacher, the spirit, sharing your spiritual wisdom, sharing, either teaching or learning or getting involved with an institution. So you could be thinking about leaving a career path and moving on to a situation, to a different company where that's more stable, to a situation that's allowing you to be to teach or to learn. Because I feel there's a lot of energy of moving on, leaving the past behind, leaving sorrows and difficulty behind. You have the Six of Swords here. But it's in your negative thinking sector. So there is an opportunity that might be coming up where you can leave this energy behind. You can leave all this tension and this indecision, and you can move into a better situation, a more harmonious situation, because sixes represent harmony. You have 2 sixes here. So if something's out of balance, the 5s represent instability, and you're moving toward greater harmony, but a part of you is doubting that this new opportunity is going to be everything you want it to be. But it can. Look at this 10 of Cups. You can move on to a better situation. You might even be moving into a position of greater leadership, or because you have the Emperor here. The Emperor is a card of, it's the boss card. It's discipline, work, focus, building something solid and stable. So if you do move on, you might be connecting with someone who represents the qualities of the Emperor. It could be someone who's a boss or a CEO, or owns their own business, someone who's in some type of leadership position. It could even be that you are offered a leadership position, that you're moving into that type of role. In any case, this could represent a new relationship that's coming up in the future. As a result of, once you decide to release the past and not get caught up in toxic situations or something that's not working, if you decide to cut your losses, you are going to be moving into something more stable and more solid. And something that can bring you great love and happiness. Look at this 10 of Cups. I mean, what you really want, you just want a relationship. This is the card of your wishes, hopes and dreams. You want a relationship with someone that you can depend on, that's solid and stable. Someone who's there for you. You want something that leads to some type of commitment, possibly someone someone that's going to bring you, that is going to bring love into your life, where you feel loved and you feel supported. This is your wish, and you can get that. But you may have to leave something behind, leave some toxic situation, some problematic situation behind before you can reach that stage. The Six of Pentacles is also a card of imbalance. It shows an imbalance in a relationship. One thing that the Six of Pentacles warns about is don't choose someone just based on their financial assets. You might be thinking, oh, I want to meet some guy with money, and I just want to be relaxed and not have to worry about money. You want to choose someone who's going to be there for you emotionally. That's more important than the financial security. That will come. I mean, that's important too, but don't just choose someone based on finances. That's one message of this card. The other message of this card is you may have been spending a lot of your energy in a one-sided relationship where you're doing all the giving, you're paying all the bills, someone's draining you financially. And you need to bring balance to the situation. You need to put a stop to that. You need to stop feeling obligated to bail this person out or to pay for everything. And the relationship needs more balance. I mean, it's also possible sometimes with the Six of Pentacles that someone's trying to buy someone's love. You know, like you feel like the only way that I'm going to be loved is if I do all these things for this person. You know, if I don't do all this stuff, this person's going to leave me. So on some subconscious level, you might be not even realizing it, but you're like buying their love. So you need to have that, let them not stop bailing someone out, let them, or maybe it's the reverse, maybe you're on the receiving end of someone's generosity and they're trying to buy your love, and it's getting, you know, it was like kind of a comfortable situation that they're spending all this money on you and you're feeling good, but the relationship is lacking in some way. So it can't be just a material, don't connect with someone just for material reasons. Don't be, hold out for the love, hold out for the genuine friendship and the genuine connection with someone. The Six of Pentacles can also mean that you're moving into a career where you're helping others, or you're working with others in some type of healing capacity or counseling capacity, teaching, working with the public, working with people, clients. So in either case, I do see that there's movement toward improvement, movement toward greater harmony, movement away from difficulty and sorrow. You might have to have a conversation with someone. Sometimes the Six of Swords requires that you communicate, that you have a conversation. And also the Two of Swords, that you drop your guard and allow yourself to be vulnerable and say, this is what I need in a relationship. This is what's been happening. This has been making me unhappy. And this is what I need to be happy in a relationship. This is what I'm looking for in a partner. And that's how you can tell if this person is willing to work with you. You can salvage the relationship. But if this person just wants to place the blame elsewhere and doesn't want to contribute, doesn't want to see their part in any conflict, then you may have no choice but to let go and move on. But one thing you can be sure of, if you do let go of something toxic or something that's not working for you, that there will be love in your future. There will be more stability in your future. And there will be more balance and harmony. Because the cards are just showing that progression. You just have to be careful not to overgive. Because Sagittarians have a tendency to overdo things. You take on more than you can handle. So you have to balance, you know, the giving to others with giving also to yourself. You have to make time for you. Don't be such a workaholic where you don't have time to recharge and you don't have time to rest, because that will then affect your health, and you don't want that. You want to be in a position where you can continue to give, but you have to take time out for you and don't feel guilty about it. So now with the full moon in Capricorn, in Cancer, on January 1st, that's activating your money houses, 8th and 2nd house. And also it's connected to Jupiter in the 12th and Neptune in the 4th. So you may have been, with the 8th, you're focused on finances. Some project or some goal has come to culmination with this full moon. The full moon shines a light of truth on our situations. So you may be looking at your financial situation and saying, you know what, I need more support, I need more money. I need to do something. Or I need more emotional support in a relationship. I need to feel better about myself. I need to feel more secure. Because with the moon in the 2nd house, or in the 8th house, you may feel that your financial situation is fluctuating. But you've got a lot of planets that are going through your 2nd house right now. Pluto, Venus, Saturn, the Sun. So it's giving you the energy to bring more power and more money into your life. But you have to work at it. You're going to have to work at your self-esteem. Work at, what am I worth? Am I getting paid what I'm worth? You need to get into a more secure situation. You may decide that. Jupiter and Mars are going through your 12th house. So there could be some situation where you're repressing your anger with Mars in the 12th. There's something that's angering you and you're not dealing with it, or you're not wanting to express it. And Jupiter is amping that up. Jupiter's making you confront things. It's kind of amplifying things. It's growing things. So you may be doing some soul searching, trying to find meaning in your life, maybe confronting some of your psychological blocks, like why is this always happening to me? What do I need to do to, why do I always feel blocked? How do I release my anger in healthy ways without making a shambles of everything? Neptune is in your 4th house, so this can mean that you're trying to make your home your sanctuary. You might be spending a lot of time at home, trying to recharge. Home is really important to you. Sometimes Neptune in the 4th house can bring problems with water, or like there's a leaky roof or the leaky pipe, so you want to be aware of that. If you're doing any contract work, you want to check everything, check all the fine print. So if you're having any kind of renovation done, make sure that you know what you're getting. Neptune can sometimes bring deception. If it's not bringing creativity to your life, if you're not using the creative side of Neptune, then you might be experiencing the deceptive side, the illusion of Neptune, where not everything is what it seems. So if you're trying to set up a home, let's say you're trying to move, you want to make sure that you could, I mean, you might be able to move to near water or a body of water, but you also want to make sure that this is, you might find your dream home, but you want to make sure that you're reading the fine print, that you're not that you're getting what you're promised. The new moon on January 16th in Capricorn is happening in your 2nd house. And it's also activating, it's connected to, in a favorable way, to Mars and Jupiter in the 12th house. So you can make a new beginning where you're feeling that can bring more money into your life. You can have a new start in some area, either a new relationship or a new job that's going to bring financial security, that's going to make you feel more confident that you're finally coming back. You know, you're regaining your power, you're regaining your sense of self. Like, I'm doing work that I love, I'm doing work that makes me feel good about myself, and it's bringing in more money. So that can happen with this new moon. And it could also help you to overcome whatever is stirring trouble in the 12th house. The 12th house can sometimes mean hidden enemies, but not most of the time it's really how we sabotage ourselves, how we react to things, that we're not reacting in the healthy way. So we need to confront our inner reactions and respond to situations in a more healthy way, not in a vindictive way, in a more positive way. You have Uranus going through your 5th house, and that is squaring Jupiter and Mars. So Uranus in the 5th house can bring a creative project, or can bring a new romance even. Sometimes Uranus, because the 5th house has to do with romance, children, creative projects, creative expression. So something, you could meet someone who's kind of a free spirit and brings excitement to your life. It may or may not last, but it will get you out of a rut, and it will be exciting during this time. And you'll have a lot of fun. You might be with someone where you're having a lot of fun, and you're having this free, non-committal type of relationship, more of a friendship than an actual love, heavy love. You know, and that's probably what you need right now if you've just come out of this difficult situation. So then, at the end of the month, we have the full moon eclipse in Leo. And that's happening in your 9th house. It's triggering your 9th and 3rd house. So you could be thinking about either moving to a new location, something having to do with publishing, something is coming to a culmination that will require a quick decision, either in a publishing, media type of thing, you know, internet, website, something that has to do with higher education, teaching, learning. You may decide to take a new course. You might be on a new spiritual path. You might be teaching. And Jupiter is still in your 12th house, but it's emphasizing, you know, Jupiter's kind of connected to Neptune in some ways, where it emphasized the need to connect with some type of spiritual path. So you're feeling that. Whatever you do in life, you have to tie it into some kind of spiritual path, some type of spirituality. It has to have meaning for you. You have to feel like you're contributing to the world in some way. But there could be some culmination, or some project comes to completion, and it involves communication, it involves publishing, it involves higher education. So you could be starting a new job, working in an institution of learning, or you could be on a new spiritual path, or you could be you know, starting a new website, getting your message out there, whatever it is, you're going to be sharing your wisdom at the, in the future. The future planets are leaving something behind that's not working, moving towards something more stable, that's bringing in more money, that's allowing you to express who you are, that's allowing you to get back to yourself, your sense of self, and to share your wisdom with the world. And there are people out there that need your message, that need what you have to offer, that need the benefit of your experience and your insight. So that's what you'll be doing. And there's also a possibility of unexpected romance, where you're going to be having some fun. Maybe you've been working too hard, or you've been struggling with something that's difficult. Now it's time to have fun. It's time to move into a better situation where you're having work-life balance and you're enjoying yourself. You're expressing your true nature. So this is my message for you, Sag, for January. I think it looks good. I think you're moving in the right direction. You're releasing what's toxic, what's no longer serving you, and you're moving towards something more stable. And you're moving toward doing work that really speaks to who you are, that allows you to shine. So good luck with that, and I wish you nothing but blessings and happiness and joy for the month of January and the coming year. And have a happy new year. I hope this reading was a help to you, and I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.